How we doing, Vol Nation? This is Frank, House of Orange Sports Channel. Portal update Tuesday night. We had a little bit. We have confirmation of a visitor today. A little bit out there on Nate Ament. Not a whole lot, but there is a little bit that I've seen, and kind of confirms what I talked about yesterday along the way, and where Tennessee's at and what Tennessee's interest level. Is how hard are they pursuing, which you would think a player of that caliber they will, but I'll talk about that in a minute. Make sure you hit the like. If you can, share it out. Share it out to somebody who's not maybe come across the channel before, and hit that subscribe for notifications as well. Rodney Rice, Maryland guard, backcourt mate of Jacoby Gillespie this past season at Maryland, is scheduled to visit this weekend, the 12th and the 13th. Now, the thing of it is, before he does that, he's going to Villanova the 10th and the 11th. So, where do things stand on that one? To me, obviously, you can never – here's the thing of it. No matter where the programs are at now, you got to look at things historically as well. Tennessee, not a historic blue blood in college basketball. If you look at Villanova versus Tennessee in history, Villanova's got a lot deeper basketball history than Tennessee does. Just same as if you look at Louisville, Kentucky, Duke, et cetera, along the way. Current day and age, yes, Tennessee's program is better than Louisville or than Villanova and Louisville right now. Louisville's, I bring up them just because you had Isaac McNeely, and Louisville's going to be mentioned with Nate Ament as well. Never discount what Louisville buy. They may be down a little. They had a decent year this year, especially with all the recruits. The portal players they had to bring in. They're on their comeback, traditionally proud program. Villanova, of course, just fired their coach, went with Kevin Willard from Maryland to try to resurrect that program. That program's kind of fallen short since Jay Wright decided to retire. Jay Wright did, of course, big things, won national championships there as well. Rodney Rice, though, he visits Villanova the 10th and 11th. Tennessee the 12th and 13th. Everything to me seems to match up with Tennessee. Gillespie wants him there. Rice is very interested in Tennessee. Tennessee wants him. Tennessee has a need for a backcourt. It all matches up to me. It all matches up, makes perfect sense. And it's been said that Jacoby Gillespie will be there on the visit to help recruit him as well. So to me, again, I'm never going to discount really anybody. Anything can happen in recruiting. If you're visiting a team, it's especially in the portal, there is a level of seriousness to it. I don't really believe in the courtesy visits. Maybe it is. I don't know. I've seen people suggest that. I think you've got to take any portal visit though seriously, because just relationships, NIL, all these things going on. But to me, when I match it up, I think by this weekend, into that visit, you're going to have Jacoby Gillespie. He's already signed. Jalen Carey already signed. I think you'll have Rodney Rice committed at that point as well. Now, looking at the Nate Ament stuff, talked about that last night, made a video, had a good response on it. Appreciate you guys checking that out on it. And, just based on what I'm reading on, this seems it's a 5-team race. No particular order. And how I say it, Duke, Tennessee, Arkansas, Louisville, Kentucky. That's the 5 that are mentioned. I did see, I think it was Brent Hubbs, VolQuest mentioned that he's hearing the most about Duke and Tennessee right now. But that's changing. It's changed throughout the recruitment, because at one point Tennessee, it seemed they weren't quite out, but it seemed like they were down the order, because at one point it seemed like it was Duke, Louisville, Kentucky, Arkansas up there as well. So, to me, the consistent in it seems to be Duke, because Louisville, Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, it seems like their spots in the recruitment have altered. The one consistent to me is Duke. If I had to make a guess on it, I guess I would bet he picks Duke in the end. But with that said, I don't think I think any of these teams that are left, they're willing to meet the NIL number. Now it's going to be a matter of how do you – what's your pitch to get him to campus here? I've seen it said that, and I don't know the connection on this, and I talked about it last night, that Gillespie and Ament are pretty tight. So I don't know what that connection is. I can't figure that one out by any means, and I've not seen. Of course, this is message board. Everything's true on a message board that's out there. But if that's the case, I don't think it's coincidental that all of a sudden, once Gillespie commits and signs with Tennessee, Ament's interest goes up. Now, a possible domino effect here is, some have talked about Robert Morris stretch for Alvaro Folgueras. Pretty good player, ranked number 20 according to On3 in the portal. I've seen it today. If any Kentucky fans listen to this and you get this far into it, I thought he was committing to Kentucky. So I don't know what's happened here. I've seen where maybe Kentucky took a commitment and that's changed with Folgueras now. But I've seen something today. This is on VolQuest that says Folgueras is down to Providence and Tennessee on this. I don't. You get people that don't quote their sources to say where it comes from. So I'm taking this based off of a message board, and I've not seen really anything else right now on it. But I mean, the last I had seen was Kentucky was predicted to land him, and so something has changed in regard to that, or maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a weird one to me. I'm trying to look to see, because really kind of your best dudes to follow on this portal stuff. Joe Tipton of On3 is really good. I've not seen anything as far as that goes. The one I wonder if it affects Jaden Quaintance from Arizona State. He was a 6'10" freshman this year. He committed to Kentucky. So did that possibly move Kentucky to not go after Folgueras? Well, and then we look at it as well. With Tennessee, you've got Jalen Carey, you've got Cade Phillips, you've got J.P. Estrella, you got Felix Okpara down low. People may say, why do you add more? Why would you not add more on it? To me, you cannot add enough offense. You just can't on it. And looking at Folgueras, Robert Morris, again, he's 6'9", 215. He's listed as a stretch forward. How does that translate to the SEC? Well, we saw it with Igor Milicic, good and bad. As a sophomore this year, Robert Morris, he averaged 13.8 points, 8.9 boards, 3.1 assists, 1.3 steals, 1.1 blocks. He did a lot of things in that. And then I would like to see, I don't have his, they call him the octopus, it says. So he is from Spain, and I'm trying to see where he was. Let's see, against Alabama in the NCAA tournament, he went for 15, 10, and 4. So that's pretty good numbers right there. But I've seen this as well. I saw, I think it was either Rob Lewis or Grant Ramey said that they felt Tennessee's interest in how hard they pursue Folgueras depends on what happens with Nate Ament. So it seems to me right now that your pecking order is Nate Ament first and foremost. And I can't stress this enough. If you get him in, you got to let him come in and play. If you're able to get that one, let me adjust this light here a little bit. There we go. If you're able to get Nate Ament, and I'm not saying they will, we've seen these recruitments play out, and a lot of times they don't play out in Tennessee's favor. So I'm not being negative on it. I'm just being realistic about it. I still have said it. I've been consistent. I would be really surprised if he doesn't go to Duke, but all these teams, I think, feel or have felt at some point pretty good about their chances. If you get Nate Ament in the fold, you've got to let him go out and play. You've got to let his talent shine. You've got to let him make mistakes as a freshman. We see it at other programs bigger than Tennessee. We see Duke do it. We see Kentucky do it. We see Arkansas do it, just along the line. At some point, if you're Rick Barnes, you've got to let the talent play. Don't micromanage them. Let them do their thing. And, that if they're still in this, that leads me to believe they're going all in for him to come in and be an immediate contributor. I don't think this will be a Freddie DeLeon or Julian Phillips at all. I think this will be different, right? If you're able to get Ament. But, and then, another name to keep in mind out there is Elijah Freeman. I've not seen much on him other than he visited Indiana or was supposed to visit Indiana. I've seen stuff saying that people think Tennessee's in good shape there. I've seen some thinking he's from Florida. He'll go back to somewhere in Florida and play. There's just not been a lot out there other than him visiting or visited Indiana on that. This is going to end up you still got multiple scholarships to give, and you can give partials as well. I've not seen anything on the rulings from yesterday, so there must not be anything out. And just to reiterate this, the fifth-year thing is not going to affect the guy. I'll happily eat crow if I'm wrong on this, but I've looked over this very thoroughly, and even if or when the fifth-year rule is passed, it's not going to be retroactive. It may be moving forward, but it's not going to affect the guys that are out there. I know there's people out here claiming Ziegler, Gainey, Meshack, Milicic will all be back. If they are great, all right, I would not include them in my mock rosters for next year, though. And that's not a guess. That's, just based on everything I've read from actual reliable, legitimate sources on it. We'll see where this thing goes, man. It's going to be a lot of news out there, and we'll try to stay on this Ament thing. He would be huge for Tennessee. He would be huge because I am still a believer you need to recruit the high school ranks to build kind of your foundation in the program. He's going to be a one and done, okay? That's fine. A lot of your portal guys are as well. And talent's talent. Talent's talent. This is a dude, if it wasn't for the one-year rule, would probably be off to the NBA. So that's where we're at. You still have to get these guys, in my opinion, and build around them. I know with Duke, they got to the Final Four, got beat by, a more veteran Houston team. Florida, good job with the portal with them. But I still think there's a place that you've got to get your high school evaluations right and still be able to get these one and done guys. I think it's important, and especially if you get them in and make a difference. A guy in the next class is going to take note of that. We'll see where it goes. Tennessee's got some good options right now. Where can they close? Again, I just think it all makes sense for Rodney Rice to be a Vol after his visit, sometime after it. But we'll see. A lot of people thought McNeely would be as well, and Louisville was still able to get him in there. Keep you updated on the portal. Tennessee baseball currently up 8-0 in the seventh inning. I'll have a post-game video once this is done tonight as well. Make sure you hit the like, the share, the subscribe. Check out the links in the description. Channel memberships, channel Patreon, as little as $1 a month. You can go to greatly help the channel just with bringing the coverage, bringing the options that it needs. Have a great evening. This is Frank, House of Orange. Last but not least, go Vols.